Hi all, welcome to Parkers Reef. In today's episode, we're going to revisit one of my most popular videos of all time and drop in and see how Mez Fletcher's doing, one of Australia's youngest reefers that is absolutely kicking some goals. Hi all, welcome to Parkers Reefs. I'm here today with a star of one of my videos. It's been one of my most popular videos of all time, and that's with Mez Fletcher, who has now expanded operations. She's got 3 tanks running now, and I believe that's due to the fragging empire that's just starting to take hold and just expand into this house here. And Mez is going to tell us all about her new setup and why she set it up and any challenges she's faced along the way, and just generally give us an update on what she's been up to.
So I got a frag tank a while ago, a little 2-foot frag tank, and didn't take long to run out of space. So I got another one, and that's helping me get more zoas fragged and everything fragged.
Nice. Can you tell us about this tank, where it come from, what the dimensions are, what the configuration is?
So it's a 3x2x1.
Okay.
And it wasn't drilled when I got it, so we had to drill it, and I had to design a weir for it and get a weir built and get it all plumbed up and everything. So that took a while.
I was going to say, that's a fair challenge, and the weir looks, I mean, you said you had a weir built and you had to drill it and plumb it. It looks factory, it looks very professional. Tell me you haven't done that by hand yourself, you've had some help, because...
I got it drilled by Dad,
Okay,
but
good.
otherwise I siliconed it in myself and plumbed it all myself.
Very impressive work. Next time I need a weir built, I know where to come, because that looks, like I said, that looks factory. A Red Sea could look at that and think it was...
Happy when I got it in my hands. It was really nice.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that took a while just to get the weir in, and then I kind of built the sump too. I put all the baffles in the sump because I've only had one sump, but I didn't like the way it sort of flowed. I didn't really like it, so I just got a tank off Gumtree and got baffles put in it and made a filter sock holder and
Amazing.
And made that how I liked it.
Yep. So you say how you like it. How have you got it running in there now? You've obviously, you've got filter sock.
Yeah, it just goes in. So it's Durso, and then there's 2 baffles, so it goes down and then it comes up over the filter socks.
Yes.
And then it goes down into the skimmer section with a Bubble Magus Curve 7.
Nice.
Which is just a bigger one from my display because I really like those skimmers. I've never had anything like higher end, but I'm happy with them.
Well, apart from the fact that I can see bubbles sitting in it, I wouldn't think that was on. It's dead silent.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I can see that it's running, but I cannot hear that it's running at all.
I don't know why it's more silent than my other one, and it's bigger.
It's a good one.
I like that. I ended up with 2 200-watt heaters just to keep it all running because it's open top and it's next to a door, and you know that it happens.
That's okay.
It all leaves, all the heat leaves, so goes by 2 heaters. Then there's a bit of just leftover rock, and then it goes down another baffle to an M1, which is on like the least you can put it on.
I was going to say an M1's a fairly large pump.
It's a lot of power, and it's on like the least, going to 2 outlets, and that's like almost all I need. Except I do have a Jabal crossflow just to get it.
Just to push things back that way, because you've set it up like a peninsula.
The M1 would do it, but it just needs to go back.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of variance in there too. And you've got this all set up under your awesome workbench here, which is, this is a crazy setup. I mean, most reefers would love to have a little setup like this, and you've got it pretty well kitted out. Can you tell us about what you've got here, what you use it for? And
I use it pretty much just for fragging. It's kind of in the middle of everything, so I can just be in my little hole and frag stuff. There's sort of everything around all my, like iodine and fish food it's there, so I can. It's all really close and easy to.
Yeah,
To
you've
get
got this
to.
wicked magnifying glass
Yeah,
light
that's pretty helpful too.
for frag and zoas, I assume, or other things, but zoas particularly
Yeah.
would be really, really handy. You can just
Yeah,
really
it's pretty good.
hone down on the individual polyps. You got this nice, looks like a little frag plug holder you've made, or someone's
Yeah,
made for you.
I've
or
made that.
You've made that. That's crazy. I love it. Even holds your glue the right way up so that you can just squirt it. You don't have
It
to
wasn't
be-
even intentional. I was like, oh, that was good.
You could. It's all right. We'll just pretend that was deliberate all the way along.
Totally deliberate.
No, it's a great little setup, and you got little drawers here to keep extra plugs and glues and things there.
Yeah.
Awesome
it's
setup.
pretty easy just to have it all there and easy to get to.
Works well. Now, you mentioned that you had a little bit. You had to run 2 heaters in here because you had some trouble with some temperature. Can you tell us about what you've done to tackle that?
So, because there's a door like right there, and it's winter, it probably wouldn't have been a problem in summer, but then we would have got to winter and everything would have died, which would have been not very good.
Not great. Yeah.
So it was kind of helpful that we made it in winter to like realise.
Sure.
But we ended up making a panel of like full of insulation and 2 bits of ply on either side to keep it well insulated and warm, and then there's a big piece of foam on the back
Yeah.
to
And
keep it all in.
The result's amazing. It looks really cool. It really gives
Yeah,
this tank.
I was
a
a
nook.
bit like upset about having to put something there because I wanted to be able to see from all sides, but I do like the little
Yeah, it's
little
fantastic. I
hole
love it.
that it
just
makes.
really encapsulates this area, and it's a space that basically you can own, and you can work in here and do what you need to do.
And I guess it sort of does stop, like, you know, opening the door and any stuff
Yeah, true.
coming
Yeah,
in.
windy day. You
It's
don't want.
sort of helps out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Now, can you tell us about some of the livestock you've got inside this tank?
So I've got one little clown that was originally in a pair, and he sort of got sick at one point, and could never go back in a pair. He just got bullied, so he's got his own massive tank. That's my compensation for not being able to put him with a pair. He just gets an enormous tank all to himself.
So that was really the excuse for the extra tank, was you just had to do something for that clown?
It's Clarence. He needs his tank.
He's a super friendly little clown. I mean, for a guy that
Very
was
friendly.
bullied within an inch of his life, or bullied a bit, I guess.
He ended up getting bullied by my largest clown, to the point where he had like fin rot and
Yeah, right.
like sort of face fungusy stuff.
Just all
I
that
don't know,
bad
he
stuff.
Just wasn't doing well, and I sort of took him into another little tank for a while and medicated him, and he's completely like fine now.
Yeah.
Like half his tail was rotted off.
Right. Well, he looks happy as Larry now, and
Perfectly.
yeah, normally when I come around a fish tank and I start waving cameras and things at it, every single living thing hides for its life. But this guy came up to the surface and
He's pretty.
almost wanted a pat on the head. Very friendly fish.
He is
Now,
very friendly.
you've got predominantly zoas, some chalice, and a couple other bits and pieces in here. What's the plans for those?
So most of them are going to come to Reefstock with me. It's mainly zoas now, just because it's not really ready for anything else. There's a couple of bits of acra in there just to sort of test it. Like they're alive, but they're not doing well.
Sure.
So I know that it's not really ready to
Sure.
put heaps in. It's not. Yeah, it's doing all right. It's just not like bedded in totally yet.
Yeah. How long has this tank been wet for now?
Only like 2 months, I think.
Sure. And it's not it's not plumbed into the other systems.
It was going to be plumbed in, and it never got plumbed in because
Yeah,
it was just too hard to get it all around.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The plumbing sizes are all different. I'll probably do it at one point, but
To be honest, there can be benefits for it being isolated as well.
Yeah.
If you ever run into
it
trouble
would have
with
been
one tank or the other.
nice just to be able to have one system and to be able
Yeah.
to have acro in all of them.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've got T5s now, and I would like to do acro with the T5.
Sure.
It'll happen at one point because this is a big water volume anyway.
Yeah.
So it should be.
You'll be able to grow acro in this, no worries,
Yeah.
without plumbing into the other system.
Right now there's only alkalinity, just a little single dose or so, and that's all I had left over, and I
That'll be fine, I'm sure.
anything to dose more, so it's dealing with alkalinity for now and big water changes every now and then.
Sure. Now, you mentioned that you're taking these to Reefstock. Now, that's in Sydney. And you're how old now?
13.
13. So you're 13 years old. You'll be going to your third or fourth frag show now?
Fourth.
Fourth. So you'll be your fourth frag show selling frags. Interstate. Things are escalating quickly. We were joking around before about I'll see you at Mackinac next year, but I realise now that's probably less of a joke and more serious than anything. This is a pretty serious setup you got going now, and a lot of people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and plus would be envious of this. So, congratulations, and keep at it. And thank you for giving us an update on your system. Well, on your frag. We'll actually, before we go, we'll have a bit of a chat about these tanks you've got here, your main display, and your original frag tank, because I can't remember how long it was since I was here last. Looking at this tank, about 4 months. Well, it feels like a lot more than that, because this tank has absolutely come of age. It's grown in, but the colour is really impressive. It's popping. It's just looks happier than ever. Can you tell us about anything you've changed here, or any new additions?
Yeah, everything's just really happy after I do a big water. It's sort of due for another water change.
It looks incredible. I mean, you're, as just about every reefer does, they start pointing out things that they're not happy with in the tank. But every single thing you pointed to me was a result of other corals being too happy. Like we talked about the elegance just being that happy that it's singing things. That the torch is.
It's not happy. I hope it'll come back, but
that's just our reefing nature to find things that are wrong with the tank rather than looking at how incredible it is. But this tank is just it's off the charts, and it's great to see. What about your frag tank? This is your original frag tank. It obviously has not been neglected since getting the new frag tank, because it's going off the charts as well. You got some crazy stock in there.
Again, it's a bit embarrassing, but I put like my sort of cheaper stuff in here.
Yes.
Because not really because it's cheaper, but usually cheaper stuff lives more than
Sure.
expensive stuff, because expensive stuff's expensive because it doesn't live.
Correct.
So I've got like cheaper zoas that just always seem to live through pretty much anything in this tank.
Yes.
And my like $50 a polyp stuff.
Premium stuff has stayed here.
It's not. I know this system's pretty.
Yeah, this is a proven system. I mean, you've been
happy, so
you've been pumping out the zoas and acros out of this tank, so it's a proven recipe. You know it works, and like it holds colour and grows what appears to be really fast. So I mean, while this tank's establishing,
it's fast. It doesn't grow out.
it doesn't. It looks alright to me. I mean, there's some nice encrusting pieces in there, but yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, with the addition of the T5 and the new setup, SBS will take off in there.
Yeah. Once that bed's in, then it'll be full. Totally full.
Unbelievable. So now you're still running a radian on this. Both of these tanks still got the radians.
Last time you here, there was the XR15 on this tank.
Yes.
And 3 Kessels on this tank.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
2 A150s and an A160.
Yes.
And I knew I needed more spread for this tank, because there were just acros on either side that just weren't getting what they needed.
Sure.
And I sort of thought that this tank would be fine with a 15, just because it's more just like flat rather than stuff overhanging. That needs an XR32.
Yeah,
really
fair
does.
enough. You get away with it by having your softies on the side.
Yeah, it's all right. It's the Kessels were doing better for spread.
Okay.
But I do like the Radion, like.
It's nice if you got radion on the tank, literally next door to it.
That I just wanted them to be the same. They both looked good, but together.
Yeah.
It just looks so much better if they sort of look like one.
Bit of uniformity. I mean, because you've got your cabinets look almost identical. I know there are subtle differences, but from a quick glance, they look identical. Your tank heights and widths and everything almost look identical. So if you can go matching light, it looks great. And I guess you run them on the same schedule and everything now, so that
It was a bit of a pain because that's actually a Pro, and that's not a Pro.
Okay.
I thought that was a Pro when I bought it, and I came home to program it, and it wasn't a Pro, and I was like, damn it. But I've programmed them like separately to get the same, get pretty similar.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the future, I'll just get 2 Gen 3 XR30 not pro.
Non-pros.
Because I just don't feel I need it, because that's only running on 65%.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
what's the point in paying
No use paying
$100 more? Like if it's a second-hand John,
Yeah.
they're usually like $100 more
Yeah, exactly.
just for pro, and I don't need it.
No, there's no point. Well, hopefully you'll sell up big at Reefstock, and
Hopefully.
you'll be able to trade in the 15 for a 30, and you'll probably come home with almost more frags than you sell, but hopefully a bit of extra cash in the back pocket, and you'll be able to take the tanks to another level yet again, which is difficult to imagine, but I have full faith that if anyone can do it, you can.
Hope so.
Fantastic. Well, anything else you'd like to tell us about your tanks, or any words of advice you'd like to give people out there? Or
I'm the one taking advice, so I can't.
Don't underestimate yourself. You've got 3 incredible tanks here. You've got to be able to own what you're doing, and recognise that this hasn't happened by accident. I see in fact, many people will tell me when they see the video we did last time that they've interacted with you online and they just assumed that you were 30 or 40 until they saw that video and went, wow, Mez really knows her stuff. So take that on board. You should self-recognise the great work you're doing, and keep at it. Okay, so that's just about all we've got for today's video. I just want to close out with some of the pictures of some of the frags that Mez is going to be taking to Reefstock, and you'll find her at the Reflections booth. Now, this is a pretty big deal, as we've touched on in this video. Mez is 13. This is her 4th frag show already, and she's taking some of these absolutely cracking pieces along. Not all of these will be there for sale. Some of them are still in grow out, but there's also some other ones there that I haven't taken pictures of for a bit of a surprise. And I guess there's no shame in admitting that this video is to generate a bit of hype for Mez, because what I really want to see at Reefstock is when those doors open, that there's a beeline to come and support this young lady in her reefing journey. So if you're going to be at Reefstock, be sure you stop by Mez and Fragmental Frags, and just get behind her and pick up some of these incredible frags. They've been grown to love. They've got incredible colours. I've bought a few off Mez before, and the survival rate is fantastic, and some of just the pieces she has are incredible. So I won't say much more than that, other than thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, a thumbs up. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye.